civets, particularly with Colombia. I sat down with the president and started by asking him what advice he would give the US and Europe.
We're saying what they said to us 10 years ago. Put your house in order because your disorder is affecting us. Take the decisions that are necessary. Have the political will and the political capacity to take unpopular decisions, but necessary decisions, because you're going to affect the whole world if you continue with this uncertainty.
What is your fear? Is it that you won't have export markets? Is it the Brazilian fear of a currency appreciation? What is Colombia's fear if the US, particularly, and the EU doesn't get its act together?
All of the above. First, if they don't get their act together and they try to get out of the recession through monetary policy and creating money, that money will not stay because that money will go after a better return that we are having. And so they will appreciate our currencies and create unemployment and hurt our competitiveness. Also, if they don't grow, we still export the majority of our products to Europe, to the United States, to Japan, to the industrialized countries, and the exports might go down. I'm not so sure what's going to happen with the commodities, the price of commodities, because that's going through a different phenomenon.
The other countries, the US and the EU, they're not listening, are they? I mean, you can be as diplomatic as you like, Mr. President, but the reality is, before the G20, we had a G20 FinMin meeting where they were given a warning. We had the G20 in Cannes. We've just had the failure of the Super Committee. You've got the failure of the EU process.
You're right. They're not hearing, or if they're hearing, they're not capable of delivering. I think it's more the latter. They're hearing, and they know that they need to take tough decisions. But this is a crisis that has a big political element there.
As I look at your economic situation at the moment, in the short and medium, and maybe even the long term, the cards are in your favour. You've got robust growth. But you have only got growth, and I say only, of 5.5%. Is that sufficient for an emerging economy like yours?
Yes, in our national plan, development plan, we set a goal of above 5% year after year, and we made all our accounts using a 5% growth. With that, we can finance the infrastructure we need, we can finance the social investment that we need. Of course, we would hope for higher growth, and we are aiming at a bit higher. But the minimum is 5% to be able to attain our objectives.
Obviously, security is a key emphasis of any leader, but your emphasis is primarily on building a Colombia that is economically sound and stable.
I say that my plan, my national plan, has 3 words. More employment, formal employment, less poverty, and more security. And we're going in the right direction. For example, Colombia has created in the last 13 months 1,085,000 jobs. No other country in the region has done this. And we're creating jobs at a high rate. This is extremely important for us. We're taking out of extreme poverty 350,000 families, which we have already identified. We have them in a computer, their needs, and we're item by item doing this. We need to have growth, but with a social emphasis, because Colombia and all Latin America were very unequal country.
So finally, Mr. President, as you look at your agenda with those 3 pillars, what could send it all wrong? What's your biggest worry?
I would say an international crisis, another recession could lower our growth and put us in trouble in obtaining very ambitious objectives. But in general, we are quite well protected. Our reserves are very high. Our financial system is very sound. We have low inflation. Our internal demand is strong. We are covered to a point.
The President of Colombia talking to me yesterday.